So the FBI is targeting Trump supporters ahead of the election. MAGA followers, labeling them domestic violent extremists. Think about the world we live in. This Lois Lerner, I mean, there's many times, and it seemed to be generally the Democrat Party doing this to Republicans. And please show me other times that the Republican Party has done this. And believe me, I'm not a supporter of the Republican Party, of either party. I used to be 20 years ago, but I realized that they're all on the same team. But again, we're going down a very dark place, a very scary path, and just as far as history goes and showing us what happens here. But Lois Lerner, 10, 12 years ago with Obama, attacking the IRS, attacking conservative groups, freedom-based groups, etc. Now we have this again. This is really this just screams of 20s and 30s Germany, where you're targeting groups of people. What we just see going on in the Middle East right now, demonizing groups of people and getting this fervor. When you have this crush of economic instability and fueled by government printing of currency, which is inflation. There is no other explanation for it, right? All these other things are symptoms of inflation. Rising this. Well, it's Putin. No, government run currency printing, and that done through the banking system and lending out credit, things like that. That is how this comes into effect. That is it. Period. End of story. There's no other way that you have in inflation. You might have a rising price in something for a minute or for a day or a week or whatever because there's something going on, but that's not inflation. We just label everything inflation. Every time a price goes up, it's inflation. Inflation is government currency printing, and that goes into the market. It's stolen wealth, time, and energy from you and I. And when you have this instability, this economic instability fueled by inflation, mixed with leaders, so-called leaders, that are saying it's their fault, it's your fault, that's when you get a recipe for disaster and bad things happening. And 30s Germany. So we're setting the stage for that. We have been for the last decade or two. We've been setting the stage for this, and it's coming to a head. And Donald Trump was not a beacon of hope in this world either, right? Attacking, whatever, I don't know, name calling, whatever you want to call it, attacking reporters or things like that. I think what Trump did, the thing he did that was good was that he broke the matrix. He broke the media. He broke the people way at the top and realized, oh boy, like we didn't think this could ever happen. The way he went about it, though, was not great a lot of times. It probably woke a lot of people up in a way, but I think that's the thing, though. When you read, because I've read a lot about, just personally, and people can argue with me if they want, but I've read a lot about Donald Trump's life, and I've read a lot about like Barack Obama's life and Hillary Clinton's life. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton generally were, very Marxist people, and Karl Marx was not a person who liked his life. He really didn't like himself. He hated himself. This guy right here disliked himself very much. That's really a lot of how Marxism came into being, because it was a disdain for himself, and then that manifested into, the government should control everything, I should control everything, and whatever. So I'm not going to go into that necessarily now, but Obama and Hillary Clinton and the Joe Bidens and a lot of the Democrat parties run with that mindset right now. And again, a lot of these people are caught up in this being brainwashed. A lot of them were brainwashed. And again, I don't want to get into all that too, but like Obama, and there's a lot of like on how they were raised and who they were raised by, and then who took them under their wings, like the Clintons and stuff like that. They were raised by people way above that had greater plans. And again, I know people can say, oh, that's a conspiracy. Holy cow. I've read many books on these subjects. And again, this is not the video to get into it today, but I'm trying to lay some context, some groundwork for where I'm going. Again, trust what I'm saying, but verify. Verify what I'm saying. Do the homework. And so you have people that, like Donald Trump. Donald Trump loves himself. He's exactly the opposite of this guy and the Hillary Clinton, Obama type people who he doesn't think government should run anything. So he might say bad things, and he did it about the wrong way, but he's not going to. And I'm mind reading a little bit, and this is just my opinion. But from everything I've ever seen and read about these people's lives, Trump loves himself. He thinks very highly of himself. I don't think anyone can argue that. So he's not there to like, oh, I'm going to take I'm going to try to control everything and everyone. He just thinks like, hey, I'm smart as heck. Look what I did and built over the years, and really should be done this way. And he's kind of agnostic. He's not like a Republican or Democrat. Again, remember that. I don't think guys ever read the Constitution and stuff like that. But we just have to take a look at a broad, macro, like human perspective as to what's going on. But then you get, so my point with that is, I don't think Trump's necessarily going to be like, hey, target that group of people and like label them violent extremists. Maybe he's done that. Someone can show me at the time the Republicans have done that to Democrats, or in literally singling out voting groups, stuff like that. And maybe I'm just missing something completely, and that's possible. But it seems to be that the Marxist type of thinkers are almost always, because that's, violent revolution and colored revolution and stuff like that. That's generally how these people think. That's, as history shows us, the Obama types, the Clinton types, these people over time, the AOC types, the Bernie Sanders types, they tend to have, just ridiculous ways of thinking about things. And because facts generally aren't on that side, and you're getting away from reality in that world, you tend to go to force and violence a lot of times in order to get what you want. And again, that's where we are. So we're doing it again and labeling everything as they're violent right-wing extremists, and this always over and over and over. Yet, we have 2020 going on, protests everywhere, and people literally just violence everywhere. Cities being flattened to the ground. But it was okay. It was mostly peaceful protests because it was furthering that Marxist agenda, which, like, BLM, I mean, at the time, it was like, guys, this is a Marxist organization. This is funded by Marxists. It was very easy to see, but no one would give you the time of day. Now, very easy to see at this point what's going on. They just just supported a massive terrorist attack in Israel, among other things. All the people at the top, again, getting paid off, living in lavish houses. I mean, this is such a clown world, but no one wants to hear it. No one wants to actually understand the truth. No one wants to actually look into things. I don't claim to have the truth, but all the things I see lead me to like one direction, and then all these things lead me over here, and like a lot of things don't pass the smell test either, the sniff test even, not even the smell test. So it's using our critical thinking, using our logic, using our understanding, and getting away from, which is the macro point of all this, is getting away from the broken currency, getting back to true sound money. That's why I advocate for Bitcoin. These things then can't happen. You can't have your wealth stolen away. Like, if you don't support abortion and killing children in someone's body, then you don't have to be forced to do that in a Bitcoin world. But in fiat, they get to do whatever they want with it. They get to just steal it from you, time and energy, inflate it away, and they get to steal all that and put it wherever they want. They get to fund BLM, they get to fund different activist groups, they get to fund abortion, they get to fund whatever they want. Things that are desecrating society. No honor for life, nothing. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You got to pay your taxes or you're going to jail. So that's where we'll be living. It's fun stuff. We've created it. We've created our own bed, and we're going to lie in it. We've made it, and we're going to lie in it now. And that's why I constantly say, let's be prepared. Let's get prepared. Get to Bitcoin. Get out of the system. Get a little bit of gold and silver. Get some food, energy, water, security, firearms, ammo. Get some land if you can, and build community. Community is the number one thing, digitally and then physically. The people around you, ranchers, farmers, sheriffs there to protect the Constitution. We need to know them. We need to know them. So, it's just the fact that we're in this place is unbelievable. I've been really on a kick lately of studying the origins, last couple hundred years, of the public schooling system, government-run schools, the common school era. The Committee of 10, like all these different things that have led us to this point, and the brainwashing that has taken place. And we're all brainwashed to a certain extent, and that's some of it's cognitive dissonance in a way, right? So understanding that, and the more we can start peeling back the scales from our eyes, the clearer we can start to see things and see through the fog of war. But please, I'm very curious though, again, and I don't want information laundered articles, right? This is the problem with the media nowadays, the old mainstream media. Really, alternative media has now become mainstream media, but you have all these, The Atlantic, or like all these different people that would write fake articles, and then you'd get like CNN would come on the air and be like, well, The Atlantic said that's called information laundering. So someone can send me real things and say, hey, look at Republicans did these 10 things over the last 30 years or 20 years or whatever, and they targeted groups and said they're terrorists, and said that Democrat voters are terrorists, or whatever it is, Joe Biden voters are terrorists, and label them as that in the government. Then please send it to me, but make sure they're not information laundered articles. Don't give me a CNN article that was written by The Atlantic that was fake, and then they information laundered it. Meaning, again, someone wrote something fake, threw it up on the website, and then the person next to them said, all right, perfect, you just posted it. I'm going to go use that article as a source in my 8 p.m. news slot tonight and regurgitate that as truth. That's my source. That's all I'm saying. So I appreciate you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk and letting me voice what I see. Boy, oh boy, we're in an unbelievable time. So I pray for you, I pray for all of us, and I appreciate you being here, and it's very appreciated. So that's all I can really say. Question everything, boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust what I'm saying, but verify, please. This is not financial advice, it is freedom advice, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.